Now I'm going to be periscoping here in just a second and live from YouTube, okay? Welcome to the I Am a Business show. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. And I'm just excited that you guys are here hanging out with me. Okay, let me just quickly clean my camera on Periscope. So it's a little like, a little sloppy here. But if you're brand new, welcome, okay? Welcome, because I'm just excited that you guys are here, okay? So what is going on? For those who are coming on here brand new, what is up? I am excited to bring you guys a powerful show today. All right, and we're going to be talking about the 5 trigger points that unleash buyer's frenzy. Okay, now this is for anybody who's interested, anybody who's in business, anybody who is in wants to learn ad copy, anybody who wants to learn how to sell more online. This is for you. Anybody who's an entrepreneur, a business person. This is something that's going to be super valuable, and you are going to have the ability, okay? Hey, what's up, Black Mexican from New Brunswick? Dude, that is awesome, dude. Thank you for liking this, and thank you for retweeting this, my man. I love me some bubble tea out in New Brunswick. Thanks again, Black Mexican, okay? So, yeah, I see a lot of people coming in here from Periscope, from YouTube, from Meerkat. I'm broadcasting live from everywhere, okay? We're going to be talking about the 5 buyer frenzy. I'm sorry, the 5 trigger points that unleash buyer frenzy, and they have nothing to do with money. They have nothing to do with money, okay? Because I think that when we first get started, okay, when we first get started, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up, D Servo? Hey, what's up, sir? How are you? Good seeing you here, okay? But I think when we first get started, just in business in general, I think that the only thing that we kind of go by is just the price, right? It's just the price, and we kind of get people to make decisions based off of the price, when in reality, there's actually 5 better trigger points than price that you can actually get people to buy, okay? And that's what I'm going to share with you guys in the next couple of minutes, all right? So I'm excited that you guys are here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Here's what I need you to do as people are coming in, right? If you guys are on Meerkat, make sure you retweet this and like this. If you're on Periscope, do me a favor and tap the screen and make sure you invite more followers, okay? You can invite followers just by simply pressing the little this little button right here, this little live meter right here. If you press this right here where it says where you can see the live viewers, right? If you press that, you can actually invite your followers and you can share the broadcast. I would totally appreciate it, okay? So, and those who are live from YouTube, okay? This is the I Am a Business show. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman, okay? And I'm excited that you guys are here, of course, with me, just hanging out here. So I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys some really awesome things, okay? And, hey, we're going to go ahead and get started with some really powerful, right? I have a business. That's awesome. That's cool. What kind of business do you have, okay? So if you have a business, really quickly, and for those who are coming in, if you guys can actually just put in the comments what kind of business you have, because this is some really good stuff. This is actually the stuff I'm going to share with you guys today is from an 8-figure ad copy earner. I mean, this is what he does, okay? And I learned this stuff, okay? And I just couldn't. Oh, you have a teeth whitening store. Wow, that is really cool. At Zenny, that patent. That's so cool. I'm sorry. Hopefully I said your name right. Okay, but if you have a business, these are going to be some really good trigger points that you guys can use in your business to actually get people to buy more stuff. And again, it has nothing to do with price, right? And raise your hand if you've been guilty of doing this, right? Like in your business when you first got started, you just absolutely talked about the price. You talked about how you had the best deal. You talked about how, there's nobody out there, that this is the lowest price. And you kind of just use price to try to get people to make a decision. But a lot of people don't make decisions based off the things that we make decisions. There's different trigger points that gets people to want to make decisions. And if you can understand all of the trigger points, then whenever you're doing your presentation, whenever you're advertising, whenever you're doing whatever it is, you can actually hit off of these trigger points to make sure that you get them all and you increase your buyers, right? You increase your buyers. So again, I'm excited to share with you guys. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off really quick with some affirmations, okay? And then we're going to go with the quote of the day, okay? I got some Steve Jobs for you, okay? So these are some really, really powerful affirmations. I like, you know, Tony Robbins have things called incantations where you kind of just embody it. You kind of just like, I am powerful. I am amazing. I am great. I am just confident, right? But, you know, I was learning that something that's actually better is kind of asking yourself the question, like, why am I powerful? Why am I confident? Why am I intelligent? Why am I just amazing? Why am I a good business, right? Because what's going to happen is that our mind will naturally want to seek to figure out the answer of why we are intelligent, okay? So really quickly, right, we're just going to do some affirmations. Just going to get pumped up, man. Just pound your chest a little bit, man, because guess what? One thing that I learned in church is that we should be preaching to ourselves, right? We gotta, hey, what's up, Tessa? Good seeing you. We gotta preach thanks a lot, D Server, for inviting your followers. I appreciate it, right? But we should be preaching to ourselves, right? Look, if we are not going to be if we're not going to be speaking life into ourselves, if we're not going to be talking to us positive, then we're going to let society speak to us. We're going to let the news talk to us. We're going to let some people just put stuff in our minds that's going to affect our day. That's not just going to affect our day, but then eventually it's just going to prolong the process of getting where we want to be in life, okay? So just do it with me right now and just embody it, man. Just say, I am powerful. I am confident. I am amazing. I am great. I am just significant. I am wealthy, right? And just get excited. Get excited because you know what? This stuff should excite you, right? Martial arts and an online coach. Okay, so D Servo says he's a martial arts and online coach. Great. So if you guys are coming in, what I'm going to be sharing with you guys is 5 trigger points that have nothing to do with money, that absolutely have to do with 5 things that a lot of people normally don't ever cover in their marketing. But these 5 trigger points will unleash a major buyer frenzy. And this is stuff that I'm sharing with you guys from an 8-figure earner whose name is Mark Hoverson, and he uses this exact copy. He puts this, he's literally made hundreds of thousands of dollars from writing email copy using these 5 trigger points. So if you want to know this really quickly, I want you to say, heck yes, I want to know, or yes, I'm excited, I want to learn. If you're on Meerkat, you know, Kearney is all Irish. Cool. Not sure what that means, but okay. So if you are excited about learning the 5 trigger points that have nothing to do with money, but everything to do with getting people to buy stuff, just say yes. Okay, say you're really excited, okay? So let's start off with the quote of the day, and then we're going to go ahead and get started, okay? This was by Steve Jobs, and Steve Jobs says, I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful is one's pure perseverance, okay? That is basically what Steve Jobs says. He says, I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful ones is pure perseverance. Pure perseverance, okay? Which means that when it gets tough, when things get challenging, right? And I'm sure that all of us on here have gone through a point where we wanted to give up, where we didn't think we were going to make it, where we didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? But it was our ability to persevere through that challenge, through all of that stuff that made us successful, right? And that's what Steve Jobs says, right? What do you think that quote means? I'm convinced that about half of what separates the successful entrepreneurs from the non-successful are the ones with pure perseverance. That's what Steve Jobs says, okay? What do you think that means, right? Right, that's really cool, okay? So guys, we're going to go ahead and get started now with the meat and potatoes, okay? And I'm going to share with you guys, okay, the 5 trigger points that will absolutely create a buyer frenzy without ever talking about price, okay? So let's start off with the first one. The first one's actually anxiety, okay? Anxiety. So, like, I'm not saying it right. I always mess up my words, right? But it's anxiety. Like, gosh, I'm really messing it up today, man. You guys make me nervous sometimes. But anyways, you guys know what I mean, right? So when people are anxious, like anxiety, right? You can actually use this in your marketing. right? In a way where you can probably talk to them like this, right? You can probably create anxiety by saying something like this. Like, if you're tired, right? If you are absolutely tired of having to wait till the end of the month, scraping all the dollars and cents in your bank account just to get by, knowing that rent is due tomorrow, then this is what you need to go ahead and get, right? Or if you think about it, what would be some things that people are like they would have anxiety about, right? I mean, some things, some of it would be, you know, financial problems. Some other things would be, you know, not having the ability to spend more time with your kids. Like, what would be like, this would be a perfect example. So like, if a parent, like, let's just say like the highest value, okay, because I'm reading this really good book called The Value Factor, okay, but let's just say that your highest value is to spend time with your kids. So if like your highest value is to spend time with your kids, or you know that the people in your market or the people that you want to target, let's just say that that's what they love to do. They love to spend time with their kids, right? If that's what your highest value is, right? Then if I'm trying to woo you and I'm trying to get you to buy something for me, then I can say something like, you know, and if you're tired, if you're sick and tired, or you're just, if you're sick and tired that you're just working at a job where it never allows you to spend any time with your kid, as you're watching your kid grow up older, you know, do some of the things that you are probably never going to see as a parent, right? Then you need to get this course, because this course is going to absolutely speed things up, and it's going to get you to finally start spending more time with your kid versus letting time go by. Okay, so I mean you can even create like some type of like you can trigger points off of that just by understanding what your prospect's highest value is. So that's just an example of your prospect's highest value is spending time with their kids, right? But you can create anxiety. That would be the first trigger point, okay? The second trigger point is fear, okay? Fear, okay? So fear is one that you probably know, okay? So fear, you could use fear many different ways depending on the highest value of your prospect or your avatar or your dream client. This is why it's important to understand who your avatar is and who your dream client is. Because if you understand who your dream client is, then you can speak to them in a way where you can trigger fear. So what would be a couple of examples where you can trigger fear to your client? Or, you know, a couple of ways would be, let's say that they're very fearful. You can actually do something where, like, for example, this would be fear of not knowing what to do. Like, when people get started on online business, what they fear is that they're going to spend thousands of dollars and they're not going to have a precise action plan of what they need to do to actually succeed. So that can be fear. So if I'm talking to someone like that, then what I can actually do and what I can actually say is I can actually talk about a time where I was actually stuck. I was stuck, and like let me give you an example, right? So let's say something like, you know, and I actually remember a time when I remember a time when I first got started online and I spent thousands of dollars buying products that I hope that would actually help me succeed and finally help me make money, only to find out that there was no concise and clear action plan. And I still remember staring at the computer for 12 hours, not knowing what to do, and seeing my time go by just like that. Staring and spending countless of hours every day at the computer, not realizing what the next move was, right? You can even talk about that. The fact that I'm telling a story and I'm bringing you back to a time where I was staring at the computer for 12 hours, frozen up, paralyzed, not knowing what to do, that can instantly create fear. Fear that you don't know what to do, fear of the unknown. So I can use fear in my marketing by talking about that without ever even talking about price, okay? So that would be the second trigger point. What would be the third trigger point? The third trigger point would be time. Time, okay? So if I want to use time in my marketing, if I want to use time to be able to use it to get people to buy stuff from me, right, without ever mentioning price, then here's what I would do. So if I wanted to do that, I would basically talk about how, you know, how like, for example, let's say I want someone to buy something. I can talk about how, let's say that the course is like let's say that I'm selling something for like $5,000, okay? So I'm selling something for $5,000 and I want someone to buy this. So what I would say is, look, it's just $5,000, okay? Look, we have what we call disposable income, which means that week in and week out, there's always going to be new income that comes into our life. but how much time are we going to continue to keep having? You see, time is something that you won't ever have, which means that if you don't do something to create the success that you want, that means that you're always going to be trading time for dollars. And if you do that enough times, and if you continue to keep doing that, where is that going to put you at in your life? How is that going to allow you to spend more time with your wife and your kids? How is that going to allow you to live the life that you truly want? Aren't you sick and tired of trading the time for dollars and dollars for time? Because the truth is that when you go ahead and put down $5,000 today, the truth is that what you're putting is disposable income, which means that you'll have that and that money will come back into your life. But something that won't ever come back into your life is time. And time is probably your most useful commodity. Wouldn't you agree? So like you can even use it in email copy. You can use time in a way where you can use it to really motivate people to take action and to buy stuff from you. Okay, again, this is the I Am a Business show. Brian, thank you for liking this and retweeting this, my man. I appreciate you. I always enjoy you being here. Okay, you guys have been great to me. Okay, you guys are awesome on Periscope. We got people on YouTube. We got people on, are you discussing your sales copy? Well, yes, I am discussing 5 trigger points that have nothing to do with using price to get people to buy stuff. And actually, you can use these 5 trigger points in your sales copy when you do videos, when you write emails, okay? So one of the best ways to write like sales copy is using dialogue, okay? This has nothing to do with what I'm going to be sharing with you guys, right? But basically, one of the best ways to sell stuff through email is by using dialogue. And what dialogue is just basically a story that's happening between you and someone else. So like, for example, you know, you can kind of like start a dialogue by saying, I remember when I first told my parents that I got started with my online business. My parents told me, "What are you thinking? You're crazy. That's not going to ever work." I remember telling my parents, "What are you talking about? I'm going to make this work because I'm excited and because I believe in my dream." And then you kind of just go back and forth, and it's a story, right? It's like a story. You're using dialogue. The reason why you want to use dialogue is because we all have this thing called buyer's resistance, right? And we don't, nobody wakes up today and say, "I'm going to give Tony $500. Like nobody wakes up today and says, "You know, today I feel like just PayPaling. Today I just feel like PayPaling $1,000 to like Nate." You know, like nobody wakes up and does that, right? So I mean, there's a certain way that you have to speak to people where you can kill the resistance, the buyer's resistance, and get them to buy stuff from you, right? So like how you do that is by in your sales copy, in your email, you should use dialogue, because what that does, it takes people it shifts people over from, you know, looking at it from a scope of, I don't know, like resistance, to all of a sudden to an observation mode. And when people become observant, the resistance level is not there, because now they're reading dialogue, they're reading a story. So they're more likely to actually allow what you're trying to say to them in them, right? They're just more open to receive it. Anyways, what's the third? So we talked about so far 3 trigger points. We talked about anxiety. We just talked about fear, okay? And we talked about fear. And we talked about time. The 4th one that we're going to talk about is social glory. Okay, what is social glory? Social glory is what I did, okay? Like social glory is what a lot of people like to have. So like me and my wife have been working out, right? Me and my wife have been working out, okay? And all of a sudden, you know, I finally started getting abs. I started getting abs, right? And like the dialogue example, yeah, so like it's like a dialogue example. Yeah, exactly, Brian, from Meerkat, okay? So like, anyway, so the 4th trigger point is social glory. So I get my abs, and what do? The first thing that I do is I say, you know what, I'm going to turn this into a story, because I want to show people my before and after, right? I want to show people that I didn't have abs, and then now that I do have abs, right? And I actually did that, right? And what that did is that created social glory for me. It had people liking my stuff. People were commenting me. People were actually, you know, just telling me, wow, it's amazing. Like we even got a client from that, right? So like everybody loves social glory. So like ask yourself, how can you use this in your marketing? How can you use this in your business where you're actually giving a taste to your prospect of social glory. All right, how you do that is something called future pacing. And what future pacing means is that you basically talk about a time in the future when if like a time in the near future where the person who, if they buy your course or if they buy whatever you're selling to them, they will have social glory. So let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example. Let's say I'm selling a course that's going to help people become better online marketers or better business people. That's going to help them make more money. Okay, so I can say something like, well, can you imagine a time in the future now when all of a sudden you're going to go back to this time when you realize and you make the best decision of your life by buying this course, because you're going to look out into the future, seeing how much more time you're going to have with your kids. And that time is going to come as from the result of you getting results from this very course. Can you imagine for a second and give yourself permission right now that in the near future, you're finally going to be able to raise your kids and actually spend the time that you've always destined and always envisioned spending with them because of the very fact that you made the decision and bought this course and it made you a better marketer, right? So what am I doing? I'm actually giving them social glory. Or I can talk about, can you imagine the time where all of a sudden you're going to be in a group, in a circle, where people are going to be shouting your name. They're going to be chanting your name. They're going to be saying, congratulations, 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 as you're stepping onto the stage to deliver your message and to share your story with the entire company that you actually are an affiliate with. And everybody's chanting your name. Everybody's congratulating you. Your family even came and watched you, and they're sitting right in front of you as they're literally watching you step into your greatness. Everybody is chanting and everybody's applauding and everyone's going crazy and everyone's getting excited. Well, that's what happens when you make the decision today. You will reap the benefit of that near future activating in your life, right? So what did I just do? I just basically so you can sell without showing results. Like you don't have to show, look, these 5 trigger points never speak about money. You don't have to speak about money, right? If you absolutely believe in your product, if you absolutely believe in what you're selling, if you absolutely really, really believe in yourself and you believe in everything you have, right? Like if you believe in your products, right? Then you know that they have it's your duty and your obligation to get them to make a decision. It's your duty and obligation to kill any buyer's resistance, because your job is to get your product in their hands or sell other people's products without your own results. Okay, so Brian is asking that question. So like you can sell people's, like, one of the things that's important is that you believe in the product or you believe in whatever you're selling, right? Because if you don't believe in it, it's going to be very hard to sell it to other people, right? And believing in it should also mean you should be using the product. You should be, you should be using it, right? You should be using it. And if you've never gotten a result, right, you can use other testimonials and other people who've gotten results, right? But again, you don't necessarily have to talk about money, right? When it comes to that, like if you're like, I mean, you really don't, right? Because most of the products that you're selling are not just going to teach you about how to make money. They're also going to teach you other principles and other things, which is important, okay? And that's basically the 4th trigger point. The last trigger point happens to be achievement, okay? Achievement is really, really powerful, right? And again, you can use achievement by future pacing, right? And you can say something like, when you buy this course today, not only are you going to enjoy the benefits today, but you're also going to begin to start achieving some of the things that you once thought were hard, some of the things that you once thought were impossible, some of the things that you've been just banging your head against glass door, okay, some of the things that you've been just absolutely just struggling with, you will begin to, but not only will you begin to start achieving things in your business, but the ripple effect will take over, and all of a sudden you will want to be more successful in other areas of your life. So you can use achievement, which is another trigger point that gets people to buy stuff, okay? It's another trigger point, all right? So all of these things are trigger points that gets people to want to buy stuff. So instead of just talking about money, instead of just talking about price, you can use these 5 trigger points, okay? This is the I Am a Business show. I'm not a businessman. I am a businessman. And I just want to say thank you for joining me here today. I really appreciate all of your time. We're here live Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, okay? This is the I Am a Business show. You're awesome. You're great, okay? And you guys are just rock stars, and I'm looking forward to sharing with you guys more and more things. Okay, so again, guys, this is the I Am a Business show, and let me just recap the 5 trigger points. So the 5 trigger points to unleash a buyer frenzy. Number 1, it's anxiety. Okay. Number 2, it's fear. Number 3, it's time. Number 4 is social glory. Number 5, it's achievement. Okay, those are the 5 trigger points. You can use this in your marketing, and you'll begin to start realizing that you don't necessarily need to just talk about money, because not everybody is going to make a decision based off money. A lot of people sometimes operate differently. A lot of people make decisions based off different beliefs and different values. This is why it's important to understand these 5 trigger points, so you can actually be more. You can actually service more people and make more sales by speaking directly to them, at the same time speaking to everyone else and hitting all of them one by one by one. Okay, again, thank you for coming to the I Am a Business show. All right, we're here Monday through Friday, and here's what you can do after the show. You can go to the iamabusinessshow.com, and you can pick up a free PDF there and join our VIP list. Okay, so you guys have been great. You guys have been good. Love you guys. And I hope you guys have an awesome 4th of July weekend. Okay, we're going to be here tomorrow, but I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Love you guys. Peace. This is Policy Q. Pow. Low. On a Tuesday. Nope.